Christmas, you filthy animals.
Very nice. I like it. Yeah. Merry Christmas, guys. And, well, if you're not on WrestlingAgenda.club and clicking on the podcast link that sends you straight to this YouTube channel, then what the hell are you doing?
No shit.
No, really. Shit. This is the Wrestling Agenda. It's Christmas.
Also, if you just saw us on YouTube, you should go look at WrestlingAgenda.club.
Yeah. Check it out. It's up. It's not completely done, but I'm okay with it.
It's under construction.
It's under construction, but we're comfortable enough to let it out there that we're letting you guys see it. Otherwise, we'll never let it out because it'll be like a pet project forever. So. Yeah. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Mm-hmm. And Merry Christmas to us because we have a top 5.
Yes, the one I've been looking forward to.
Top 5 male wrestlers of 2016.
This one might go over time.
It might.
This one's gonna go over.
Yep. We watched a savage fucking SmackDown, and
last week.
Yep, Tuesday, and it was. Whew, we really haven't talked about it since then, but whew, that was fucking dirty.
Well, we haven't really had time. I mean,
no, it was ridiculous, and go watch it on your DVR or on demand. Or whatever.
Tomorrow is the 26th, and it's a Monday. So.
Yep. So, I mean, maybe you can catch some repeats of it on the internet, but holy fuck.
Maybe.
SmackDown, and especially after the snooze fest that was.
PG's dead, dude.
Yeah, SmackDown fucking
just on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays is fucking dirty.
Dude, what's going on? Like,
I don't know.
I understand that, like, we always said that SmackDown's where you make stars, but now SmackDown's making a show. Like, it's not even just the stars. Like, and Apollo Crews looked good tonight.
Very good.
Baron looked good. Dolph looked good. Everyone looked good except for Ellsworth.
Yep.
He died.
Who did what he usually does. He just died.
And got the lady.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Right. He still won. I don't get it. That little bastard.
Stealing Big Cass's lady.
Yep. But anyway.
Fuck out, Big Cass.
Anyway, we should get to the points.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long episode.
It is.
So this is going to be our top 5 male wrestlers. If you haven't checked it out, we've been doing a 5 days of Christmas kind of thing. We're finishing here today at male wrestlers.
Okay.
But we had female wrestlers yesterday, the Christmas Eve special.
Yes, we did. Which was an amazing show.
Yep. And then we had tag teams on the 23rd.
Which was also amazing. They were all good.
They were all actually really good. I felt good about them.
I did too.
Look at us just stroking our egos right now.
If we're not gonna, who is?
So true. And then the 22nd was matches, and the 21st was events of the year.
Yes, it was.
It's been a process. We're really pumping them out right now. Real quick though, we have a Twitter question, I believe.
We do. Let me get to it.
Let me get to it. We're all about the fans here at the Wrestling Agenda, so we need to read what they say to us. Cody's pulling it up right now, so I'm just kind of filling talk right now.
If you guys follow us on Twitter, I did post it a couple of days ago. It's from Fife for Life 1. It's Megan Pfeiffer. She asked, her question is for me. How are you going to feel when her man Finn Balor comes back and destroys Kevin Owens? It is for me, but fuck that. It's for both of us.
Okay, well, if it's for both of us, I was like, do I talk? Like,
no, go ahead, man.
Okay, well, first off, bitch, he's my man.
Yeah, so first off, bitch, he was our man first.
Yeah,
Kevin just happens to be my man as well.
No, but in all seriousness, I look forward to it. Finn's going to get catapulted right back into the main event scene,
yes,
as he should.
I hope he wins the Rumble.
Yep, he might be back for it. You never know. The timeline has always been for WrestleMania.
Yes.
For him to be
I want him to main event WrestleMania against Kevin.
But, well, he was just going to be getting back at WrestleMania. So
I don't care.
I think he'll have like one of those top 3 matches, hopefully.
Yes.
But
I want either that or I want him versus AJ, even though he's on Raw.
We'll find out. Well, it'll all depend if AJ has the title or whatever. But anyway.
But I guess to answer the question, how will I feel? Wonderful.
Perfectly fine with it.
Wonderful, yep. Because that will set up an amazing feud between two top guys.
This might also cause a schism between us right now because I think Kevin Owens has done a subpar job as Universal Champion. Yep, I see your face right now. He was an amazing Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
very good with that. But it's the same workload. The same thing he did with that is what he's doing with the Universal title.
Okay.
But I don't know. It doesn't feel special to me right now. I don't know. Maybe it's because we did get cheated out of that first Balor run.
I think
that's exactly why we feel.
That's part of it.
A little cheated out of it, but
also Kevin has not had the quality of workers going against him that he should.
No, it's been the club. Or the club, the Shield.
It's been the Shield.
Yeah.
And yes, Seth's really good, but you can only watch Seth and Kevin for so long. They don't have the chemistry you would expect.
Don't worry, because we get Roman and Kevin now.
I know you would expect them to have really good chemistry, but they don't, and it's really sad.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
You know who does have really good chemistry?
Chris Jericho and him.
Kevin and Finn.
That too.
Kevin and Finn have amazing chemistry,
and
they put on some of the best matches in NXT of all time. They were great.
So does him and Zayn.
Oh yeah, him and Zayn too.
But that would put.
Don't push Zayn to the main event or anything.
That'd put Rollins and Reigns maybe in the mid card. Oh God.
Oh,
so help us God.
Oh, you mean the guy that holds the mid card title?
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in the mid card at all.
Touch it. Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So I would be perfectly fine with it though. Dan.
Same here.
Yep.
I love Finn Balor.
Yep.
He's my guy. Kevin's my guy. There's so many people that are my guy.
And this is what this list is all about, is our guys.
That's actually a perfect segue into that. Actually, it's a really perfect segue because my number 5.
Well, wait. We got to do honorable mentions first.
I don't have any.
There's a ton for me.
All right, there's a ton for me too, but I can't.
Bobby Roode isn't on my list, and he should be. He had it was just a kind of a last half 2016. Same with Miz. Last half of 2016 were fantastic for him. Miz completely won me over. I hated Miz.
All right.
And now he's been for forever. And he's actually been amazing as an Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Same with Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
Didn't hate him or anything, but he's just completely transformed the landscape of NXT singles competition. And same with Ty Dillinger. He had a solid year.
Love Ty.
Is my man. But
can't wait for him to get up there.
Crack top 5 this year. Just barely missed out.
My honorable mentions, I guess. First of all, Braun Strowman.
Especially his last half 2016.
Yeah, once he's broke out.
Since the draft has helped a lot of people.
He's very entertaining.
It's hurt some very noticeable people like Sammy and kind of Cesaro. No, he's a tag team champion now.
It's hurt Cesaro. He should have been in the main event scene on SmackDown. But Braun Strowman has gotten more and more entertaining every week.
Agreed.
It's starting to be what's Kevin and Chris going to do and who's Braun Strowman going to murder.
Agreed.
That's Raw.
Raw.
And is Sasha Banks going to win the title again on Raw?
Yep. And maybe Bayley will do something cool.
Maybe.
So we just entirely broke down Raw.
That's Raw. That's one honorable mention. Another one, just because he wrestled one match, is Goldberg. That was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty great.
That was pretty cool.
Couple more. Neville. I definitely, since he's coming back.
He was hurt as fuck most of the year. It was 2 separate injuries that sidelined him for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it made him miss out on the CWC.
Mm-hmm.
And then it made him miss out again on the debut of the
Cruiserweight division.
So,
because he was.
But now he's coming back full force.
Right, because when they showed the finals of CWC, he was he was ringside. And, they were saying he was going to be in it, so we were waiting.
Yep.
And Austin Aries, I'll put him in there too.
Same.
Yep.
Very much so.
Yep, I'll put him in my honorable mentions because he's awesome.
Samoa Joe didn't make my top 5 either.
Had
a great year.
I don't think Samoa Joe made mine either.
No,
he did not.
And Finn Balor also didn't make my years.
Mine are all WWE or NXT.
Mine are.
I know yours are not.
Mine are not. 3 of them are.
Okay.
So I guess you want to kick it off, or you want me?
No, you can.
Okay. So my number 5 is Broken Matt.
Okay.
Completely.
I guess he'd be on my honorable mention.
Yep. Completely changed the landscape for.
Changed professional wrestling.
Yep. For the year was just nuts for him.
That was great.
Completely changed what you thought wrestling could be. It's been a wild concept, weird fucking LSD dream, and it's been fun as fuck to watch.
It's like he took the weird storylines from Lucha Underground and made them his own.
Yep, Matt was always like second fiddle to Jeff, in my opinion. Like, I always enjoyed Jeff so much more.
Yes.
And now Matt is just fucking crazy and fun, and I can't get enough of him.
He was a tag team specialist or a mid-carder at best.
At best. And now he feels like he should be a main card guy. So
everywhere.
Yep. So
yes.
Delete.
Yep.
My number 5.
That's your number 5.
Yep.
My number 5 is Heath Slater.
The same kind of thing. Completely reinvented himself.
After
brand split.
Yeah.
Yep.
He went from not getting drafted and us thinking that he wasn't going to be on the show to being the hottest guy on SmackDown for many months.
Yeah. No. Amazing.
And making Rhino relevant again.
Yeah. What? Like, and he had the best vignette of the year.
Yes. He did.
Best few vignettes of the year. Like, the guy was just pumping them out for a while.
He had a couple months of where he was the best thing to watch. We talked about this
once, that Heath Slater's career is just peaks and valleys.
Yes, it's like Zack Ryder.
Yep, 3-man band was really cool for for
a day or two.
Yeah, and then
once they added,
then they were
Hornswoggle.
Yep, and then they were irrelevant as fuck.
Yeah.
Same with
then they were a jobber
Nexus
tag.
Was cool as fuck for a little bit.
Nexus was very cool.
Yep, and then went down the tubes. Thanks, John Cena. It just
thanks Vince McMahon for booking that.
Yep. Yeah, he's just an employee. He's just an employee, Kyle. But
he doesn't pick the matches.
He
doesn't.
But yeah, so I don't know. Heath Slater, this felt like another peak, and it was amazing to watch. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I completely agree with
that.
that.
I love Heath Slater, and I was kind of surprised you didn't put him on your honorable mention. But
there's just so many.
There's so many professional wrestlers out there, and I mean, he's on my 5.
Jamie Beachler and Jeff Streeter.
I hope so.
Both barely, almost cracked top 5.
One of these days. I hope so.
Maybe. Okay.
You're 4.
My number 4 is Chris Jericho.
Wow.
Yep. He put in a full year of work, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, me neither.
We talked a lot about how I fucking hate part-timers. Because before this, he was doing he'd wrestle a tour for about 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm. And then he'd go on tour with his band.
Again, go on tour with Fozzy for about 5 or 6 months. And
which I respect. He has 2 jobs.
Yeah.
He has like 16. But
yeah. And then he has his podcast, too.
He has his
which
podcast.
Is slightly more popular than ours.
Slightly.
So,
he had a built-in audience already. We're trying to build one.
I just feel like Jericho's in a career renaissance. He's never been irrelevant, but he's extraordinarily relevant.
There was a couple of years there where he was pretty much irrelevant. He was there, but like when I think it was 2014 where it said Y2J 2014 on his ass.
Yep.
That was a bad year.
Yep.
He showed up at the Royal Rumble 2 and then did nothing.
Nope. But this year he had a feud with AJ Styles.
Yep.
He has been consistently the only good reason to watch Raw after the brand split.
Yep.
Yeah. I
don't know. He's great. I should have put him on my honorable mention.
He's possibly one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And
he is.
This is weird. It feels almost Shawn Michaels-ish, but for different reasons. Like Shawn, I felt like he went through a career renaissance in the ring. Like he
went through a life renaissance.
Yeah, exactly.
That gave him the opportunity to come back.
He didn't cut the craziest whereas Chris is in his creative genius mode again, like he was in WCW, where he is just putting himself
early
all
WWF.
the time. Exactly. And it's just fun to watch. But and he's still very good in the ring. He's not boring to watch in the ring. I don't.
No.
Yeah, that's my number 4.
He's probably the best actor of anybody.
Yeah. So if you've noticed,
that's
my first
why
2 are just pretty much character pieces. Because Broken Matt is still a good wrestler, not an amazing one.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah,
like it's still the same in-ring work.
Yeah, he's still ponytail Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
So
he's still Matt Hardy version 1.
Yep.
Camo
jeans.
He wears the same pants.
He does not wear the camo cargo pants anymore.
He didn't wear cargo pants when he was Broken Matt Hardy. He wore the weird pattern red ones that he still wears.
I thought you were talking about like when he was Matt Hardy.
No.
Ponytail. And I was like, yeah, he wore those cargo.
Matt version 1. He wore those pants that he still wears now. Yep. He only wore them a couple of times, but they're still the same pants.
I got you. But
like nothing's really changed. His hair's changed.
But yeah, anyway.
In the ring.
So Chris is my number 4.
My number 4, who would have been a lot higher had he not been injured, is Finn Balor.
Yep, he was right on the outside. I have him on the short list I made. But yeah, injury really sucked.
The injury sucked, but you got to remember that he put a huge body of work in NXT at the start of 2016.
Very solid 3/4 of the year.
It
sucks that this is at the end of it.
Right.
And like if this would have been 3/4 of the year through, he would have been
number one.
Top,
he might have been number one.
Probably
in mine.
number one wrestler.
Yeah.
For me.
He might have been number one for me. But
it's close. But yeah.
It's close. But
yeah, he would have been very close.
If he would still be the Universal Champion, if he had not been hurt, he still would be the
I think he could have gave that belt some fucking pizzazz too. It would have made it what it should be.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
It also could have gotten really tired too because they would.
He also could have lost to Roman a month later.
Yep, he could have been fucking feuding with Rollins for fucking 2 months.
Right, and he could have got injured in the second match or the third match. I don't know, but yeah, Finn Balor. I love Finn.
Nope, I love that pick. You know how I feel.
I know.
When I know how drafted, I ran and
I know how you feel like about Fergal Devitt.
Yep, I love that man. Fucking doing the Bullet Club pointer.
He seems like not only one of the coolest persons outside the ring, he seems like one of the nicest people outside the ring.
I marked out so fucking hard at SummerSlam when it was AJ, Doc, and Anderson backstage, and they're talking, and then Fergal shows up, and they too sweeted him, and they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, acting like they're gonna too sweet him, and he just shakes his head and walks away.
Smiled though.
Yeah, I marked out so hard for that. Like it was fucking great. But
I like you talked about the last, I think it was 2 episodes ago, that Finn doesn't want to do it. I hope they do it at least once.
Oh, with rejoining the Bullet Club? Yeah, I hope they do it too. I have a Balor Club shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it.
I mean, what was the point of doing it if there's never going to be a Balor Club? I mean, like, I guess that we're all the Balor Club. I think that's what it means. Like, we're the Balor Club.
Means. Like, everybody is, yeah.
He's Finn Balor, we're the Balor Club.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it means, I guess.
That's where I was going.
Everyone's always taken it to the extreme where that means it's the next Bullet Club.
No, yeah. I don't think so, but
I hope so.
Yeah, but he'd also have to be a heel. So
he's a good heel.
I know he is, but he's an amazing babyface too.
Remember
how many baby faces do we have on Raw right now?
We don't need any.
0.
We don't need any.
We have 0 fucking main event baby faces.
All tweeners.
Seth Rollins, yay!
All tweeners is fine with me, man.
No, we need a baby face that's as handsome and as charismatic and wears the coolest fucking face / body paint in the biz.
Yeah. Which you love face paint.
Yep, I do.
And when it's body paint, you're just done.
It fucking molds into body paint.
Yeah.
Fucking
and
Gold
it changes.
Dust. I'm a huge Gold Dust fan too.
I know you are. Surprised the Golden Truth did not pop up on the tag team conversation we had a couple days ago.
I was so hyped for so long about the Golden Truth.
Surprised you didn't buy one of those shirts. You marked out so hard for those.
There's 2 shirts I still need to get. There's that one, and then there's the very, very the Chase Rare that you cannot find anywhere. That if someone finds, you need to tweet me. It's the Eugene for President shirt that I still need. So,
I thought you were going to say the Y2AJ shirt.
Dude, they made them.
I know they made them.
And then they promptly took them off. And I was like, fuck, we should have jumped on that. But also, sweet Christmas
John
present.
Cena Pabst
I know it'll be a little
shirt.
late by the time it gets to me, since it's Christmas and all. But you should definitely send me one of those sweet new Alexa Bliss shirts that says, what does it say?
Little Miss Bliss.
Little Miss Bliss. I will wear that everywhere. I don't give a fuck.
They're cool looking shirts.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
About fucking time.
Anyway.
About time a woman's shirt looks cool. Like, right? Sasha's got someone say boss, and I saw someone at my job wearing one, and I go, oh, you like Sasha Banks? And she goes, who? And I go, why are you wearing it? She goes, because it says legit boss on the front. And I went, oh, cool. Sassy fat girls wearing Sasha Banks shirts. Awesome.
For wrestling,
at least know who it is.
For wrestling fans and trailer park trash everywhere.
So you're number 4. Or did you already do 4? You're number 3, sorry.
Number 4 was Finn Balor for you.
Okay, yes, it was.
Chris Jericho for me. So my number 3 is Shinsuke Nakamura.
Number 3 is Shinsuke for me as well.
Awesome.
Let's do this.
Yep. So first, 3 months was New Japan for him? Or 2 months?
First, he debuted in April, the day before WrestleMania.
So 2 months in April.
January, February, March.
And then he kind of took March off.
Yes.
And then April.
He trained a little bit in NXT. Yes.
Yep. So, and he had an amazing barn burner with AJ before he left.
Yes.
Multiple times, actually, because he did it.
Which I'm sure you listened to was my number 1 match.
Yep. Because he had the one at Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Yes.
And then he had the one the night AJ left. That was a 6-man tag.
Yes.
Or 8-man tag. I can't remember. No, it was a 6.
I thought that was his. I thought it was both their farewells.
No.
Because
he left an episode later.
Okay.
Yeah, he left a week later.
But he faced the Bullet Club too, didn't he, for his farewell? It was a 6-man though, but it wasn't. It wasn't
yes,
AJ.
It was Hangman, Adam Page, and then the Young Bucks. No, I can't remember who it was. But
was it Doc and Carl?
It was Tanahashi. He faced Tanahashi.
Okay.
And then
which he should have.
Yeah, and then I think it was Tanahashi. He was with Okada.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck, who's that little dude that follows?
I don't know, man.
I can't. Goto? No, Goto's the big dude.
You're the one that's gonna know.
My brain's toast right now too.
It doesn't matter.
It's not helping. But
it really doesn't.
So
Sorry.
Yeah, he put in fantastic work there.
Yep.
Came to the States, had the most over theme song. It debuted #1 on iTunes.
He still has the most over theme song.
As a wrestling theme song at #1 on iTunes for what? I think it was for like 2 weeks.
That's
Like, that's fucking crazy. That's
with
never
no
been done
words in
before.
it.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And we saw him debut we saw him at NXT TakeOver. We didn't see him there. But
we didn't see him
watched
live.
it.
We watched it, and then
we
the
went
next
to
day we
Access
saw him at
and we saw him
Access
twice. And
Yeah.
it was fucking awesome.
Yep.
And then we saw him a live show. The guy just never disappoints.
Right, and the one
and
thing
he's
one
put in
thing
so
about
much
Shinsuke is he's had 25 matches in WWE, maybe 12.
I bet it's more like 12. Yeah.
12.
And they've all been amazing.
I was gonna say not one of them's been bad.
Nope, not one.
Not
of
even
them's been
close.
Nope.
Even his squash matches that
We're
we
talking
saw
on TV 12. He's probably had like 50.
Oh yeah, like
least.
at live shows
not
and
even,
stuff.
Probably more.
At live
they're
shows,
touring all the time.
they tour all the time.
Yeah, they probably have
but
100 by now.
maybe. But the ones that have been on TV, the ones that we've seen live,
His
all of
feuds
those
with
ones have been
Balor,
amazing.
Joe, like I must
Aries.
be Icon. Like, oh my god, yeah, Aries. You have Zayn and his farewell match. Like, fuck. Like, he's had some fucking crazy stuff thrown at him.
Yeah,
and he's been undefeated the whole way until he lost to Joe.
Yeah, and then he got it back.
Right back.
Like,
So,
I don't
know. It's ridiculous and it's fun. But yeah, so now he has a new NXT #1 contender.
Yeah, he does.
It looks promising.
Yeah, the match looks great. It could work out amazingly.
It could be. And he's consistently at everything you want from a different style of wrestling being brought into WWE.
Yes.
Strong style is not a thing in WWE at all.
AJ's trying. AJ's the closest
a much
thing.
different form to it.
Right,
Yeah.
but AJ's the closest thing to it on TV.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
But yeah, but his is much more like Joe's.
Yes.
Because they're both strong style guys.
Yeah, Joe's
Joe
American
said that
strong
for years
style.
that he's the American strong style.
Yes.
And then, but yeah, so he's just been absolutely fantastic, and it's been a blast to watch. It's been just, fuck, I don't know how to
If Triple H is in charge of him, if he goes to SmackDown, he will become a star instantly to the casual
I think
fan.
no matter where he goes, he's going to be a star.
I think Vince will book him wrong, but if he goes to SmackDown and Triple H is in charge,
Nah, I think you're. Just
I think he's going to be a star.
Yeah,
because he's
gonna be
already a
no
star.
matter
He's Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep.
But
he'll get over anywhere he goes. The guy's
if
got
Vince gets it. If Vince understands
guy
what
has
he
an
does,
aura about him.
I know he has an aura.
So
he
can't.
He's the most charismatic person to ever step foot in a ring.
He's a once in a lifetime kind of.
He is a once in a lifetime performer.
So, and we're gonna say that as we've been like in a lifetime with Rock and Stone Cold in it, and Foley, and you've had.
It's hard to say. Like,
you've had all these amazing performers in our lifetime,
right?
Flair, Sting. You know, you've had all these amazing performers.
Yes.
But
the only other person I say might be close to a once in a lifetime is Undertaker. But that's a once in a lifetime character, and so is Shinsuke.
Yeah, they're both very much character pieces.
Yes.
But they're different.
Yes,
like,
they both figured out their character and made it their own, and never stopped being that character.
Yeah, very much.
That's the one thing that Undertaker's done
has
solid.
Very much put a trance on you, and
if anything, he puts himself into a trance when he's
just
Undertaker.
Controls everything,
yes.
Whereas Shinsuke thrives in chaos.
Yes,
he came from chaos.
Yeah.
That's a stable in Japan, but that he founded. But seriously, he thrives in chaos and just crazy environments.
Yeah,
and he's just a shitload of fun.
He's so much fun.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. Who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Much like we were talking in the women's match about why Sexy Star was my number 1 for breaking a ceiling. There was also Japan is a stereo. It's not.
We're not going to say racist, but pretty racist.
It's kind of a racist country,
right?
As in, foreigners aren't very pop. It's a night.
It's kind of like how WWE doesn't give many foreigners.
Yeah, whereas America's a fucking melting pot, and like
right, America doesn't let
like Tim is Canadian as fuck.
Yeah,
and like we don't care. Like
right, Tim he had to tell me he was.
Yeah, Tim would exactly, and Tim would stick out fucking really hard in Japan.
Oh, like, we all would.
Yeah, it's a 99% or native-born Japanese or some shit like that. Is what I saw.
The other ones are basketball players, and
they have a rich tradition of people winning, like the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, like in guys like Styles and Lesnar that aren't Japanese, but predominantly Japanese wrestling is Japanese stars.
Hogan wrestled for it. He didn't win. He wrestled for it.
Yeah, and it's Van Vader won a couple of times.
Stan Hansen.
Yep. But anyway, the one thing those guys never did was win the G1 Climax.
Right.
Which is, there's no equivalent in
Is
America.
it like the King of the Ring, but more important?
But more important, yeah. It sets the entire year up.
It's like the King of the Ring and the Royal Rumble, right? Because the winner gets the main event.
Yep, and it puts...
is what the King of the Ring originally was supposed to be, but
it's like
they
King
never...
of the Ring with Money in the Bank and...
Royal Rumble
all combined. And it's a tournament-style format with 2 blocks, and you have to win a certain amount of points. It's like a round-robin thing.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun to watch, and it's a lengthy process.
Mm-hmm.
And...
you have to be invested in it.
Yeah, so, and me being a New Japan nerd, I was extraordinarily invested in it. Like, I watched every match, it felt like every other
2 or
night.
3 in the morning.
Yep, 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'd watch the just straight-up Japanese commentary.
Yep.
And just pull for my faves. But anyway, Kenny Omega won that G1 Climax, which is something no gaijin or a non-Japanese birthed person has ever done. Nobody's ever done it. Kenny is the first being Canadian.
Yes.
And how to describe his year? He had a good year before that. He started off his year as the junior heavyweight champion.
I mean, he started out his year trying to replace AJ Styles.
Exactly. He wanted to be the leader of the Bullet Club.
Impossible to do.
Yep. He started out his year at Wrestle Kingdom. Beating Kushida.
Yes.
Or losing to Kushida.
Yes.
Sorry, because he was
he
was the junior heavyweight champion at
Back
the time.
to the Future.
Yep. And he lost to Back to the Future guy, which was cool. It was a good match. It was a good losing effort. And then he had 2 firsts in New Japan. He had the first ever ladder match.
That's
for the
crazy.
For the IWGP Intercontinental Championship against Michael Elgin.
That's crazy that that's the first one to ever happen.
But this, in a span of a year, he will... Oh my God! If he holds that IWGP Heavyweight Championship at the end, he'll hold all
which will be in
3.
2017.
Yep, and he'll hold in that 365. He will have held all 3 major titles. He would have held the Junior Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, which is like way bigger than our Intercontinental Championship. It's way more
than what it is now, not what it was before.
Yeah, it's way more prestigious. And then the IWGP Heavyweight Championship,
right?
Which would just be unparalleled. It'd be a mind-blowing thing that Kenny's really worked towards his entire career. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. And he's had nothing but 5-star matches out of him recently, especially with his stuff with Young Bucks and Adam Cole has been very good.
I look at New Japan right now.
Naito,
it feels a lot like WWF from like WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 7, where everything's important, everything's big, and stars are getting made.
There's ripple effects to everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that got big, so then wrestling got big.
Yeah.
Now, New Japan's getting big, so now indies are back.
Yep.
Every indie's getting popular. For God's sakes, what culture started a YouTube wrestling one, and it's, what, the 4th biggest?
Yeah. They do a pay-per-view format based on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, it's based on a subscription service, but you can still get it for free on YouTube.
If you wait a day or two.
Yeah, they just split it up into parts. Like to try and be annoying? I don't know what they're doing there. To try and make you subscribe? Because you wait a day later. Too.
Well, I mean, you've had enough problems with long videos getting uploaded. Like, you got to split them.
To be fair, though, they do video, which is different than just doing straight audio like we do.
Yeah, I get that.
That's why, shout out to tunes2tube.com for always encoding this for us.
Yeah.
You guys are great. They're definitely getting an agenda this year. But, so I have to use that to encode. But anyway, back to Omega. Whether it's his work with Naito, Elgin, Lethal.
I'm really surprised he's not your number one.
It's close. It's very, very close. But yeah, he's had nothing but a standout, amazing year, and he's done nothing but favors for the Bullet Club. I don't think the Bullet Club's missed a step.
Yeah.
So they replaced Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson with the Young Bucks, which is still okay. It's not
the same.
It's not the same. That's the one little area that took a very slight dip, but they still have they have the Gorillas of Destruction, which are much more like
it's
them.
a pretty big dip for their standards because New Japan pushed Gallows and Anderson hard as shit.
They were so good.
It's not the club now.
Of Destruction, which are much more that style.
Yeah.
So
are they fitting into their spot?
They're much more that big brute style with Tonga Roa is a much bigger guy.
Do they have the titles? Have they got the titles?
No,
Any shots for the titles?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So they're still feeling them out, I think, right now.
Yeah.
But, and it's kind of hard when you have it on the Young Bucks most of the year too.
Yeah.
When the Young Bucks hold, every indie promotion's tag team belts, but so I just feel like the one spot they didn't miss a step was in the transition from AJ Styles to Kenny Omega, because this is a heel stable of foreigners that have attitude and shit, is what they're supposed to be. And Kenny is consistently in the press, like especially during the G1 Climax. He has that moment. I don't know if anyone follows anything on Twitter or whatever, but he has a moment where they're asking him about stuff, and in English he says, I'm going to tear these pieces of shit apart. He's like, they mean nothing to me. I'm going to send them back to where they belong, down in the indies. They're down in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And then he tells the lady to translate it for him. The press. He's just a complete heel. But he's so crazy and wacky and lovable that I can't help but just love his style too.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing in-ring performer. So
you sure you don't have him at number one?
It's a very close thing. It's a 1.5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 and 1 are so fucking close for me.
Yeah.
It's a difference between a 99.5 and 100. So
my number 2
is
Kevin Owens. I think his year, this last year, is pretty close to the best year.
It's very good.
That anyone's had in WWE in a long time. I get the Universal title's not the WWE title, but it's supposed to be.
It's the equivalent.
It's supposed to be.
What show he's on. Yeah.
Right.
Or it's supposed to be the equivalent.
And he had some of the best matches of the year. Sammy. He even had good ones with Dean, which is, let's be honest, not the easiest thing to do. And he had good ones with John. Sadly, we didn't get the Finn Championship match we needed. And his
Intercontinental title run was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
And as high as you are on Chris, he wouldn't have started acting that way if it wasn't with Kevin.
Nope, not at all.
No, because he wasn't acting that way with AJ.
If it wasn't for Kevin, I think he'd be back on tour.
I think so too.
I don't think he would have had a reason to stick around.
I think they really like this friendship. I think it's real.
I think Chris saw something special in it.
I think he saw something special in Kevin.
That too, and I think that they had good enough chemistry that they're like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's turned out great. Been one of the only reasons to watch Raw.
Yeah, because Kevin is a savage to anybody that interviews him too. And he's a savage to people on Twitter. It's hard to explain Kevin Owens if someone doesn't know who Kevin Owens is.
Yep.
He's just a straight up dickhead and everyone loves him.
Yep. If you like wrestling and you haven't heard of Kevin Owens this year, then you're living under a rock.
Then you're not watching the right shows.
Agreed.
Because Kevin, it's hard not to say Kevin superstar of the year, but he's He's fucking close. If there was better competition for him in his title reign, he'd be better. Like, he'd be up there. He would have been my number one.
Yeah, if it wasn't just the Shield brothers going after it, I feel like I would have enjoyed it a lot more. If it was Sammy going after it, or even hopefully Chris gets a shot at it.
I didn't even talk about his amazing matches with Sammy.
I'd love to see him and a Chris kind of thing, like at WrestleMania. That'd be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
It won't last that long, I don't think, but you never know.
It could.
Him and Finn would be amazing, as we kicked off the show saying.
Yeah, him and Finn.
Like,
I'm hoping for him and Finn because I go back and watch Beast of the East all the time.
It's fantastic.
Just the Japanese crowd and all the people giving flowers to the champion and the competitor, and he just takes the flowers and just throws them.
Very Kevin.
And
he hasn't changed a bit.
No,
like he's changed.
He's Kevin. He's still Kevin Steen.
He's changed a couple moves, and he's getting away with more now.
Yeah, he is.
If you've noticed since he got the title, like he's doing that sweet. It's kind of a brain buster.
Yeah,
off that middle rope. Like it's not. It's kind of a.
It's as close to a pile driver style move that you can get.
Yeah, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like the first time we saw it, we're like, "Oh fuck!" Like because he did it with Sammy, like it was a pop moment. Like,
yeah, because he used to do. Yeah. Him and Sammy used to do that in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and now he's teasing you repeatedly.
He teases me so much with the package pile
and then
driver.
He does like a spin out thing with it, but
every time, and he holds it now, and he cocks him up like he's going to drop it, and then he just lets that one arm go and slams him.
Lets him slide around. Yeah,
every time.
Every time you get a little you die a little on the inside, I can tell, but it's fine.
All right. I this one's actually going to work, I think, for the number one. We can probably 3, 2, 1
it
this
has
one.
To. Like, we've been off the last two.
This one's not. It's impossible.
Be.
If this person did not make your honorable mention and not in your top five.
Top 5, it has to be the number one.
It has to be.
Yep. Okay. So
3, 2, 1.
Triple H.
Fuck off. AJ Styles.
AJ Styles was mine as well. I was actually scrambling to think of something.
John Stamos. Good housekeeping.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
But yeah, what can we say about AJ Styles?
No one's had a better year in wrestling ever in the history
of wrestling. I can't.
You can't. He debuted in January in the Royal Rumble.
He was the IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
Yes.
In January.
And
he is the WWE Champion in, August? Was that when he won it?
Did he win at SummerSlam?
Yes.
That's in August.
He Dane, didn't he?
That's in August.
I'm trying to think if it was August or September that he won it. But anyway.
August is SummerSlam.
It had to have been August, right?
July is Money in the Bank.
Or no, it was No Mercy he won it.
Mm-hmm.
It was No Mercy.
You're right. You're right. Yep,
so it was like September, I think.
Yes.
And September, October, don't quote us.
Yeah, right.
Dates are hard. But he was the WWE.
He faced John at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the largest reveal in Royal Rumble history.
Yeah.
Had a good WrestleMania match with
Chris, yeah.
Yep.
The ending was wrong, but yes.
The ending was wrong, but like
him and Chris didn't have the chemistry I thought.
Some of Mick Foley's best moments are in losing efforts. He looks up at the lights a lot. And
he does, but that
AJ Styles lost to Chris Jericho, maybe the greatest of all time.
Maybe,
arguably,
they both are.
Yeah, and so, wow. I mean,
you're right. It's a match.
It's
a match that should have main evented. It should have been a Taker Michaels match that main evented for just the sake of what was happening.
Yeah, and now we're talking about who can chase him on SmackDown, and they're doing a Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin thing now.
Right.
But really, the only
I think they're just waiting. They're waiting for someone's coming in the Royal Rumble.
Cena, Taker, and Michaels.
I think someone's coming from the Rumble.
They have to.
You would think. I think it's Joe. I think it's him versus Joe.
That'd be dope.
Because I've seen that 30, 40 times, and it's good every time.
They've grown since then.
They're both way better wrestlers.
Better wrestlers than
they're both in way better shape
now than they were then.
They're both in way better shape. They both traveled. They've gotten more moves, more styles to throw in.
Yeah, I can't imagine this as being anything but fresh.
No one, it's crazy because
he made Roman Reigns look amazing.
He did
at Extreme Rules.
He did.
Oh my God, we were really surprised with that.
Yeah, AJ made everybody look amazing.
He made
Dean look good.
He made great TLC match with Dean. He had a fucking fantastic SummerSlam match with John.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, because he beat John.
Like, no one can argue, like, with us on this one. No one's had a better year than him.
Pretty concrete, it felt like to me, too. But
like, yeah, Kenny's close.
I wanted to put Kenny at number 1, but even his year didn't touch it.
Like, I can understand if he wins that title. If we started at Wrestle Kingdom.
Like 14, not even a week. Was it a week from losing at Wrestle Kingdom 10 and having the IWGP Intercontinental Championship?
I think we looked, it was 10 days.
Yeah,
I think we looked and it was 10 days.
Yeah.
The US, when they released it to the US, or on YouTube, it was 10 days. But it was like 11 or 12. But yeah, it was 10 days.
It was a massive shift in the WWE landscape.
Yeah.
And
he should have won the Royal Rumble, to be honest. But I understand not pushing him, not Finn pushing him.
It set up the WrestleMania main event, too. So
it did. It did.
For better or worse. But, yeah, so it's just...
We could have a whole podcast talking about AJ Styles.
AJ Styles' year? Oh, yeah.
AJ Styles' year.
Easily.
Which we might someday. If he has a match against Undertaker, we probably will.
We're going to look back on this in like a year or two, I think, and just be like, that was the greatest year anyone's ever had in a single year. Ever.
The best part was he was a face, then he was a heel.
Yeah.
That rarely does some...
He was heel because he was a heel as fuck in Japan.
Yeah. He was a heel in Japan.
And then he was kind of a face after he left. Like, he was a tweener in between.
Yeah.
Like, as he apologized to the fans and was like,
Mm-hmm.
I loved you, thank you so much.
Right, and then he was a face.
And then he was
when he got to WWE.
And then he was a straight up heel after the brand split.
Yeah. And it was just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And
agree more.
If we did a top 10 heels in the last 10 years, he might be number 1. He might
Very
be.
Close, yeah.
I mean, it'd be tough for him up against CM Punk for heels, but it's up there.
What other man do you know can rip the shit out of his pants?
Have his butthole almost hang out.
Almost have his asshole hanging out.
And put on
a fucking near 5-star match.
Yeah. With Dean Ambrose. Yeah.
And then the next 2 nights later, pull up a picture of his ass hanging out in front of a bunch
"Doesn't
of
it look
crowd.
good?"
He's like, "Doesn't that look good?" Like,
he's so good.
He's amazing. The guy has... I have nothing but good things to say about AJ Styles.
Like, I almost thank the WWE for not signing him
earlier
until now.
Yep. It sounds fucked up.
Yeah, right.
He was amazing 10 years ago.
I said it in a podcast, I think it was 2 months ago. All the things that John Cena did to those people, like all the people that got buried, which it's not John Cena doing anything. He was booked. He's an employee. He was told what to do. It all meant that now we get Kevin Owens and AJ Styles out of it because they both beat John Cena.
Yep.
And that's crazy.
Oh man, it's ridiculous to think that.
John Cena's probably had the worst year he's ever had.
Well, he was gone a lot too.
Well, yeah.
And I wouldn't say his worst year. He had some great matches with AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Like some really good matches.
Right, and because him and Kevin was the year before, right? It was 2015.
Yep.
Right when Kevin started. Yeah.
And then you also had their great chemistry. They have a lot of chemistry, like between each other.
AJ and John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really do. Like there's a moment that sticks out in my head when the crowd started getting into something. They were doing a back and forth, and the crowd chanted, "Let's go, Cena." Cena kind of dropped his mic for a little bit. AJ got up in his face with all the fucking AJ Styles.
Cena sucks.
Just yelled in his face, "Cena sucks."
Yeah. And beat up John Cena.
Yeah, and it was just, and it was kind of a goofy heel thing. And
it started that way when he had the club
with
him.
He's perfected it in the last couple months.
He's so good.
Yeah, he has perfected it. At first with the club, with Gallows and Anderson, it was kind of a cheeky, fun heel, tweener kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then once you drop Gallows and Anderson, which is weird to say that because they have amazing chemistry together. Do. But like once he dropped them, he didn't drop them.
Which he didn't really drop them because they reunited at Tribute to the Troops. They're still a group. They're just not on the same show.
They're amazing together. But
one of these days,
since Styles has gone full heel,
yes,
it's just been nothing but enjoyable.
Nothing.
Just pure egotistical heel.
Beautiful.
And it's been a great thing. So
you don't see a lot of people make fun of his hair anymore either.
No.
That's how much he's gotten better.
Yep.
Like, people were making fun of his hair. Now he looks damn good. Looks like the man.
It's still the same hair.
Looks like a professional wrestler. Funny. Yeah, right? It's the same hair. Looks like a rock star. Wrestles like a rock star.
Sure shit does. So we're going to be sending him a Jindy.
And he had a daughter. And he had a new...
Yeah, he had a kid in the meantime.
Yeah, what a he had his first daughter.
Yeah, because he had all boys before.
That's crazy. He had that good of a year that he became the number one wrestler in WWE after being the number one wrestler in
He took such a minute
TNA,
amount of time off.
Up there in New Japan, Ring of Honor.
It's just crazy the amount of time,
everywhere.
The sliver of time he took off, despite all those things happening.
Yeah.
Like, because he went to like his son's football games.
Yes.
Like, he was still like...
I don't think he missed a football game.
Material. Yeah, he was still dad of the year material.
Football games are on Friday. He did not miss those.
Yeah, well, being on the road just constantly. Like,
well, I'm guessing...
Especially, it caused a schism for a little bit with me during the Roman Reigns thing. Because we went to Omaha and we saw him during that feud.
Yeah, because it was the club versus the family.
Yep, and Omaha's
Roman Empire.
In Omaha's a very...
Casual.
It's a very casual audience, so they knew Roman Reigns. We're kind of knowing AJ Styles, but not really.
Yeah,
and then
because TNA's ran shows in Nebraska as well.
Yeah, and so I was just fucking furious.
Yeah,
because it was mostly Roman Reigns cheers and Cena's boo or Styles boos.
Right, but it was the close. It was like, the closest we've had to a split in Omaha.
Yeah,
because
that's how divisive it was.
Right, because I was around for. Daniel Bryan versus because I think he faced Batista and it was right after the Rumble.
Yep.
And the wrestling fans showed up for that one because they were not having any of Batista's shit because he was trying so hard like, hey, this is where the College World Series is, love baseball, and everyone's just like, fuck you. You know you weren't supposed to win. And Daniel Bryan came out and it was awesome. But that's the closest it's ever been to that. And AJ's words can't describe AJ.
Nope. It
you have to see him.
Yep.
You have to see him live.
He's truly the phenomenal one. Yeah, he is phenomenal. He's in the same league as Shinsuke, a kind of a once in a lifetime guy that I think goes down to my top 5 I've ever witnessed.
The only difference is he's not a once in a lifetime character, he's a once in a lifetime wrestler.
Performer, yeah.
No one
we've talked about this
is
before.
even close to as skilled in the ring as he is.
Yep, we've talked about this before. Shawn Michaels is arguably on the same level because he was so far ahead of his time.
Right, he was ahead of his time.
But AJ is also in a time that's much better wrestling. So
I would say
very, very
if you compare AJ at what his age is now, that's when Shawn came back.
Yep.
And I would say that he's better than Shawn.
Was when he came back, yeah. I would agree with that.
And that's what age they are now. And
it's
sadly,
very hard to describe them either because they're very different styles.
Right, styles. But and sadly, a lot of the fans didn't get to see AJ's ascend to the top because it was oh my God, it was amazing. It was watching him as a young kid starting in WCW
as a tag team
in 2000. Yep. He was on for the last couple of months.
He was on at the fucking last show.
He was on the last Monday Night Raw
at Daytona Beach.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Because he was going for the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions. It was him and Air Paris?
Yep,
something
Air
like
Paris.
That. Air Paris. And ever since then, it's just straight up.
And he was much the same guy he was then as he is now.
Yeah, he does. The Styles Clash has been his finisher for pretty much
even
his whole
just
career.
Talking like persona. He's the same. He seems like the exact same guy, a very humble, hardworking, down-to-earth guy, very salt-of-the-earth guy.
It's all about his family. It's all about his faith. It's all about wrestling.
Yep.
I think those are the 3 most important things in his world.
He's the version of Tim Tebow of wrestling.
Yes.
If Tim Tebow
was universally loved.
And
not hated.
Agreed.
Yes.
And if Tim Tebow was
Roger Staubach.
And if Tim Tebow was a massive asshole to his fans.
But everyone loved him anyway.
Out of character. Yeah.
But everyone loved him anyway.
But behind the scenes, he's like, God, I hate being an asshole.
And he plays video games. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
What's not to love about him?
The world's coolest dad.
He challenged Xavier Woods to Street Fighter at AT&T Stadium.
Yep.
Like he's
my
just
number 2 is a competitive Street Fighter player.
I know Xavier Woods beat him.
Yep, Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods. And
Xavier Woods beat him.
Yep, it happened.
Yep,
made me sad. I actually watched that. I cared.
I did too because I was rooting for Xavier.
Yeah, because that's also when the whole Young Bucks and
Mm-hmm.
New Day thing
Yep,
was
they've
going
been
on.
talking shit to each other.
Yep.
Like as much as you love Kenny,
It was funny.
I love Xavier, and Xavier could be as big of a star as Kenny someday, and I hope that he gets there.
I will make you eat on those words in 2 years. But anyway,
Hey, I'm saying he could be. I don't get to book it, so I ain't eating shit.
you're eating all.
If I get to book it, he will be a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer like Ric Flair.
He's already at 1 time.
I know he's already a 1-time, so he just has to get a singles
And he's
career now.
Not even 30 yet, I don't think.
No,
So,
he's a youngin'.
yep. But he also might leave wrestling too one day.
You know, he's already cemented
he's
himself.
He's a
He doesn't.
PhD candidate. So
Yeah,
he's working on a doctorate. So
he can do whatever he wants.
yep. But anyway, this isn't ran long as we expected.
Oh, this ran longer than,
So
or as long
yep.
as I was thinking.
As always, thank you, Megan Pfeiffer, for the question. By the way,
Yep,
on
thanks,
Twitter.
Megan.
That was awesome. As always, check WrestlingAgenda.club tonight.
Yeah,
It'll
do
be
it.
up.
Do it.
Do it just a little bit. Just click around a couple times. It's
Just the tip.
It's a
Just
little-
to see how it feels.
It's a little sparse right now, but that's okay. It'll be there.
Your mom's sparse. Not talking to you. Not talking to you.
I know you weren't.
Just talking to the fans.
Yeah, I knew you weren't. That's why I was burning them with.
Ooh,
Yeah.
got him.
Torched them.
Got him.
Fucking toast. But as always, I've been Kyle. You can find me on Twitter at WAKyle316.
I am Cody. You can find me on WA Cody Long.
And that's all we got on the agenda tonight, folks.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We made it through our very first holiday extravaganza.
We did. It
Christmas extravaganza.
it was
We're burnt out.
long.
Yeah,
it was long.
It's been a long 5 days.
Yep.
So,
As always,
Dawnbreaker, play
play
us
us
out.
out. Too
Fucking sweet.
fucking sweet.
Woo!